almost there. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know who I am. I am the two-time Naboxed Award-winning Naboxed.
And I am the one-time Naboxed Award-winning Paul. Happy to be here.
And here we are on the road to 500, where I'm going back and I'm revisiting my previous milestones on the way to my next milestone video. So, for those of you who did not see it, I actually posted a poll on my Facebook group, and we did the cooking video for 496. Obviously the poll is still up, but what would interest people the most, so I don't know what's been decided at the time of this recording.
Right.
Because this is actually the first video I'm recording of the final four leading up to 500, like
Nice.
496, 97, 98, 99, so.
How cool is that? You can film and then release later, and it all seems cohesive on the viewer's point of view.
Yep. Yeah, so I hope that you had the chance to vote and let me know what you thought would be the most interesting item for me to cook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know you voted.
I have voted, yeah. I voted on 3 of them, which I hope that's okay to vote
Oh, yeah.
multiple. Okay, great. Thanks. I didn't want to vote on all of them but at the same time they all sound like good ideas. But yeah, I don't remember what I think. Turkey balls or like spicy turkey meatballs.
Yeah.
There was 2 others that I voted on that I don't quite remember.
Did you vote in the chili one as well?
Possibly it was the chili.
If I went the chili route, I probably did the cornmeal biscuits with that one as well.
Oh, nice.
Because that I actually kind of that looked to me like it would be a good combo. I think, like
Yeah.
chili and biscuits.
Yeah, no, those two do go great together when you're eating. Yeah, so that'd be cool to see.
Yeah, I also remember like a crumble, like peach or cherry.
Oh yes.
Also a like almost like a chicken schnitzel. Like if you
I voted on that one as well. Yeah.
But basically it's like a breaded chicken item.
Yeah. Nice.
But it's like really flattened out.
Oh, okay.
And I think there was one more that's escaping my mind right now.
Yeah, I think there was like 5 or 6 of them in total.
Yeah, there were 5 total.
5 in total. Yeah. I mean, again, they all sounded good, but yeah, didn't vote on all of them. But yeah, the schnitzel sounds interesting. I think what I said to him is he can make the video entertaining. So I think the video, in terms of entertainment, is going to be great. Like all of your videos are. Definitely most of your videos are. So in terms of the food, that's kind of why I voted on several of them, is because I'd like to see him make this, but I'd also like to see him make this. So yeah.
Yeah. So today, what we're doing today is I am for the first time trying Chronic Tacos.
Delicious.
And this is actually take 2.
Yes.
We did Thai Express last week, but the audio was atrocious. Like it kept going up and down and became echoey, even though we were like maybe about 20 or so meters from here. It's like a wide open space. It should not be echoey.
Interesting.
So yeah, the audio was atrocious. So I reached out to Paul and said, hey, I'm sorry, it's not postable. I'm not sure if part of me thinks that wonders if I would have posted it, say, 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Whereas, so I'm not quite sure if it's just like the video being bad. Yeah, the audio is bad.
Right.
But I also wonder, maybe my standards have raised quite a bit.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that. And yeah, I agree. I mean, you've been taking you've been searching for courses and doing things online. You've been upping your professionalism aspect of filming, and I noticed it. I noticed it in your videos recently compared to older ones that I've looked at. So I think that's really cool. Is that you're kind of like your standards are rising. So that's cool.
Standards / awareness, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
I'm more conscious of things now.
That-
I'm definitely more conscious of certain things like composition and audio
Absolutely.
than I was, say, 5-10 years ago when I started.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's a cool thing. It shows that the more you do something that you love, you still love doing it all the years later, but then you just kind of get better at it. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so what are you trying today?
Well, I have gone to Chrono Taco several times in my life, and I think that their burritos, I'm saying that right, it's called a burrito, like it's a bowl burrito, is one of my favorites. I haven't eaten here in a long time, or in a while, but yeah, I think burritos are the ones that I like the most. They have several things on their menu that I like, but burritos are definitely the choice that I prefer the most.
Yeah, and this is actually just like the 300 video, when, which was the last time you were on.
Yeah.
It was 300.
Yeah,
And I had never tried Papa John's, but you had.
that's right. Yes.
Yeah, so it's just, like I said, this is like a sort of like revisiting / recreating some of those older milestone videos, and I'm trying the chicken burrito.
Nice. Chicken burritos are always good. I guess we should just dig in and see how they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered the chicken burrito with, I don't remember the name of the rice. It's not the white rice, it's the
Spanish rice?
Spanish rice, yes. And some kind of beans. I don't remember what the pinto beans, I think they're called. With lettuce and chicken and sauce and everything. Just a whole bunch of goodness.
Yeah, and I already like the smell of this.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, because they grill the wrap,
Oh, nice.
the shell of it.
Yeah, right on. I love this stuff. It's so good. One thing I like about Chrono Taco is they make like very. It always kind of seems fresh, like their ingredients, things that they put in. And yeah, this just does not disappoint. Actually, I think this tastes better now than it has in the past. I don't know if that's because I just haven't had it in a long time and I love it, but yeah, I growing to love Chrono Taco's menu quite a bit. I love this stuff.
It's decent, but what I would have done is I would have put the refried greens like at the bottom and spread it out more, and they just like sort of scoop it on.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Oh, I
but
see what you mean.
like that's just my personal taste.
Yeah.
Would be to have it spread out a little more evenly.
Right. I think. Yeah, I agree with you because then you have it throughout the whole thing instead of just one
Yeah.
massive.
And then it's like and then also when you scoop it in, like you get one bite that's like loaded with the beans, and then the next and then like 2 or 3 bites later, it's just like you get that tiny bit that's in
Right,
there.
right.
Whereas I prefer it to be consistent. Like when you order a pizza, the cheese melts and it spreads out more evenly, right?
Totally, I agree with that. I think that's one reason why I get the burrito, is because you can kind of mix the whole ingredients around everywhere, and you don't have to kind of be at the maker's not demise. I don't know, I'm blanking out.
Mercy.
At their mercy, yeah. Like you don't have to all the ingredients are here, so you can just kind of mix and match them. You don't have to be at the mercy of the maker of the bread, or whatever.
Yeah, come to think of it, this might actually be the first time I've ordered anything Mexican at like a food court. Because normally whenever I'm having, say, tacos or enchiladas or whatever, I make them at home. Because like, of course, at that point, you can, when you're cooking at home, you can customize everything to your liking, right?
That's true. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other, because we're currently, as we're filming this, we're near Metrotown, and their food court has quite a good selection of different foods from around the world. They have a U-Grill, which I believe is Vietnamese, perhaps. U-Grill is Vietnamese. They have Curry Express, which is from East India. They have anything from like Burger King to Subway to KFC. Actually, they also have a Nando's chicken.
Yeah,
Which
Nando's is there.
Nando's is quite good food.
There's also downstairs from the food court is an Uncle Tetsu,
Yes, I've never been before.
which it sounds Japanese to me.
Okay.
Like obviously, like I haven't been there, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I've never actually looked at the menu, but I've seen it walking by.
Right.
Yeah, but it kind of sounds Japanese to me.
Yeah, I think they make, if I'm not mistaken, they make cakes or something like cheesecake. I think they make like kind of pastry desserts or something of some kind. That place usually has a lineup in front of it, so.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people.
Even today in the pandemic, I noticed the line. So I guess that shows just how good their food is, that people are
Yeah.
willing to stand in line for it during a pandemic.
Yeah.
So.
So I'll ask you a couple questions. What inspired you to keep filming up to like 500 step like videos? Like what inspired you to like make it that far on filming?
The subject matter would be my first point. Like I think I did like a couple early videos that that were like picture slideshows.
Okay.
My trip to Victoria, and then it wasn't until maybe around 2010, 2011 that I started to kind of get into some sort of rhythm, and that's when I was using the remixes from overclockremix.org, which is where, for those of you who are familiar with my, usually around July 14th, I do the music videos and I'll shoot footage at, say, Stanley Park or Central Park or whatever, and I'm in my costumes that I use for karaoke. So yeah, like, and the music is what inspired me. Like, hey, I enjoyed this song. I think it might be fun / silly for me to shoot videos to this music. Of course, like, started doing the cooking videos. But I felt like, hey, it might be fun to show off this particular recipe. Like, I think the first cooking video I did, I'll have to double check, but I think it was a taco burger.
Nice.
So, like, it's a burger patty, but I added like a cumin and chili powder to it, and it was delicious. Yeah, so like I'll just get an idea and I'll film it, or David will have an idea for when we're doing when he wants to cook something.
Yeah.
And I'll film that,
Nice.
and then it's just like and it just piles up before you know it.
That's cool. It's like a savings account. The money just kind of grows. The videos
Yeah.
count just goes higher.
Yeah, and before you know it, you're like, I get to 100, I get to 200,
Nice.
and 300, and 400. Now I'm
Yeah.
closing in on 500.
That's awesome. Do you ever plan on like saying, okay, this is enough videos, or do you just want to keep making them, or like?
I'll keep making them as
Okay.
long as I have something I want to film.
Got you. Okay, nice. That's cool.
But I'm sorry, was there like another part to that question, or?
Oh, you already answered it. I was gonna ask like, what would be the reason that you stopped making videos? But then you answered it, saying you weren't out of ideas. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even though I'm filming more, even though I'm uploading more consistently now, I still have slow periods. Because when I did 400 last year at Grouse Mountain, I had the backlog of wrestling videos, and
That's right.
and I was doing the Final Fantasy Let's Play, and I think there might have been something else to go with that, maybe the odd cooking video with David, but yeah, it's like, I was uploading about 2 or 3 videos a week, pretty consistently. And then of course Final Fantasy has an end to it, and then I ran out of wrestling matches, so it's been a lot slower for my channel, because I just haven't had the backlog or the ideas yet. Yeah, so obviously, like, I still get, like, the lulls, like, the slow times.
Right. Right. I think that happens to probably every creative person, is they have like highs and lows of their of what they're able to make and share with other people. I know, like, for certain musician friends that I have, they'll go through a process or a time in life where like they're writing a bunch of songs and they mean a lot to them, and you can hear that it means a lot to them and they're very creative and everything. But then you can also just somehow kind of go off a curve and just like run out of creative juice or whatever. I think for at least for my experience, kind of like as a creative person making videos or making songs or music or whatever, anything, create art or whatever, you kind of like you kind of need to live life a little before you have something that inspires you to make, you know, the next song or the next video or the next piece of art that you're making. I think art comes from a lot of art comes from life, and yeah, I think that's one reason why some artists they make one painting and it's super famous, or they make, you know, 12 paintings, but then they kind of like stop making paintings for a while, is because life needs to spark creativity inside of them somehow. I don't know if it's similar to you, or if that's how it is for you, but for me and some of the musician friends that I have, that kind of seems to me that's how it is.
Yeah, and you actually have a couple albums, correct?
Yes, I do. Yes.
You sent me the links to that through Facebook,
Yes.
so I will post those links down in the description
Thank you.
on Bandcamp.
They're both on Bandcamp, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're both free for download, or just for free to stream. Both albums are instrumental. The first album is done on just one electric guitar. Actually, both albums are done on a guitar. I wrote a little blurb on the bottom of the albums on the website, where talking about the intent behind the albums. So yeah, thank you for posting a link to that. Yeah, I put time and thought into them. So if you listen, great. If you don't, that's fine.
Yeah, because this past year during the pandemic, I actually started, I want to say I'm arranging music, because there's this one website, ghostpack.com or whatever. They're somewhere in Europe. Can't remember which country specifically, but they have these. They have various bundles depending on what you like to do, like hip hop, EDM, lo-fi, ambient, orchestral, cinematic. They have all these various bundles. And since this year, last year, and 2019, they have these things called Ultimate Producer Packs, or Ultimate Producer Bundles, where they mix and match all these various ones for like a deep discount. Where, like, you get about 24 different packs.
Oh, nice.
But it's like you'll get an ambient, and you'll get an orchestral or two, and you'll get like a vocal bundle, and a bunch of different ones where it's like depending on what you use, or like how you go about it, you'll probably only have use like maybe about 3 or 4 of them, but you're still saving money because because one bundle might be worth, say, $80, but they're selling the 24 bundles for like 50 or euros anyway.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like that's actually what started me with like the intro theme that you saw at the beginning of this show, and with Capilano Suspension Bridge, and the Britannia Mine, and the Burnaby Village Museum. I remember specifically arranging or assembling, or however you want to put it, music for those.
I remember.
And the cooking videos, when I do with David, that actually has its own, a separate intro theme. So yeah, it's like, but like we do it differently, whereas because I am the most novice at this, obviously, because this was literally my introduction.
Right.
So
yeah.
yes.
I guess like one question I have is like, because you said you're most novice when it comes to like the music, putting in music in your videos. So I guess I was gonna ask like what do you find is like your greatest strength when it comes to making films or videos? What do you find is like something that you want to improve the most in making videos?
I would like to improve the sound, like the audio components the most, because like in all the classes that I've taken, like the courses I've taken online, that's one that comes up the most, is that audio is more important than video. So yeah, it's funny because one of the instructors, Andrew St. Pierre White, who actually he does have this like fantastic passion for filmmaking, and he said, okay, I'm going to put 5 things on the screen, and if you take one thing from this class, you will be your film will be so much better. Number 1, audio is more important than video. Number 2, audio is more important than video. 3, audio is more important than video. Like, the first time I saw that, I laughed, because obviously that's also 4 and 5.
Yes.
And, like, you know what, honestly, because, like, thinking about it, because, you know, obviously, like, you don't necessarily think about something until it's brought up as a conversation point.
Right.
But you think about it, and it makes a lot of sense. Because, like, I am actually pretty likely to, say, put a DVD on in the background and play Skyrim, for example. Whereas, like, if, say, I'm doing a binge of Criminal Minds, which I have a bunch of DVDs of, I might put that on and, like, watch with a couple episodes in the background. And, oh, okay, I feel like playing Skyrim. And I'm still listening to the audio from Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
And I've watched it enough where I'll remember, like, I'll have, like, a general memory of the scene.
Got you.
And so I can still focus on Skyrim, but I kind of remember.
That makes sense.
Because, like, the video
Yeah.
is the information,
Okay.
and the sound is the emotion.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, it's like, that's what's, that's kind of, like, thinking about it. It's like, yeah, you know what, the audio is actually so much more, it's so important. That, like, I'm refusing to put up the Thai Express video because the audio was atrocious.
Gotcha.
The picture was great.
Right.
The picture was clear and there were no visual problems with it, but if it's like, it was so haywire that it's like, I cannot in good conscience post it, because as soon as, like, people notice a discrepancy, like, it might take a minute or two, but once you hear the discrepancy, I would click away from it. And if I would click away from it, how could I not expect you to click away from it?
That's right. That makes
or
sense.
anyone else who would click away from it.
Right. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Now, as for what I feel like I'm good at, like, I'm not really sure, actually. Like, I enjoy, obviously I enjoy doing the videos. I would have stopped a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm getting close to 500. I guess maybe I like how it reminds me how much I've progressed, like, in terms of my interests.
Nice.
Because, like, let's say I started in 2005 when YouTube started. I'd probably be doing, like, a monthly Bee Gees video because that's how much I love the Bee Gees. Whereas now, you know, I've progressed to the point where I think I've done, like, maybe in my seasons of Karaoke Catastrophe, I've done 8 karaoke episodes of songs that either were recorded by the Bee Gees or written by the Bee Gees.
Nice.
And I think maybe one of the remix videos was This Is Where I Came In remix, which was their last album. And one song where I talked about, one video where I talked about songs that are kind of overlooked or underrated for various reasons. And that's about 10 videos out of 500. I'm coming up on 500, so that'll be like 2% of my videos.
Yeah.
So for me, that kind of, for me, I'm proudest of how much it's shown me my growth, as, like, in terms of, like, my interests and that sort of stuff, right?
That makes sense. That's cool. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. I don't really have anything to add to that, but that is well said.
So that's what strength specifically. I guess just having that will to find something to film.
Right. Got you. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess because what I said earlier about the creativity and finding creative passion and desire to film something or make art or make music or whatever, dance or anything. But so do you find is that similar for you, or do you find, because you just said the will to keep making videos, like how do you find it? Is it easy just to keep making videos, or do you find you have to kind of, like, some days you have to push harder to make videos, or do you find does it all just kind of come naturally and easy for you?
9 times out of 10 it comes naturally.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so like obviously everyone has like the well, with the pandemic, for example. I'm not, that kind of interferes with the amount that I might have done by now because there's not many things open.
True.
But yeah, but I do but obviously now it's like, okay, what can I do? And because of the pandemic, that gave me the time to work on the Final Fantasy series, which I probably would not have had the ambition to do if everything was open. So I'd be going there and trying to find all these things.
Right. Then you wouldn't have time to sit down and think of how to make Final Fantasy video.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, or take the time to record it and get the audio the way I would want it to be and that sort of stuff. So, So yeah. And of course, cooking with David, of course, we've generally been doing about, past a while, it's been about 1 a month. Past ones that we've recorded.
Right.
So it's actually nice that we had that like sort of regularity.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
totally.
we would go like say 3 or 4 months between filming, and then we might film 2 or 3 times a month.
Oh, got you.
So it's nice to have that regular.
Yes. Yeah,
it allows you to get. It allows you to sort of challenge yourself and make yourself find that thing.
Yeah.
And you know that you have that.
That's right.
Okay, we're coming up on cooking time. I have to sit down and
Yes.
think, what do I want to cook?
That's right. Yeah. That makes sense. That's cool. That's good. So, I guess feel free not to answer this if you don't want to, but I know we're coming up on 500, but do you know what your plans are for after 500 videos, or are you not thinking that far in the future, or is that not something you want to say? I don't know. It's however.
Well, it'll probably be a similar situation to 400, where like I already had that stuff backlogged. So when I get to 500, I'm gonna have to get recording again on the games that I choose to do 497, because that's gonna be an obviously new Let's Play. I'm not gonna play the same game again, right?
Right.
So I have to figure out what that game's gonna be. I do have an idea, but I don't want to say what it is until I don't want to say what that game's gonna be until I've got my first episode recorded.
Right.
But then I can continue that game.
Nice.
But I'm going to want to record a few episodes before I start uploading that.
Oh, that makes sense. Just kind of have a backlog.
There'll be the introduction episode.
Okay.
Then I get to 500, and then I'll make a few episodes of that game, and then I'll start posting. That way I have that cushion in case something happens that stops me from filming for a couple weeks.
Right. Yes, that makes sense.
Because that's what I did with Final Fantasy, was I gave myself a couple weeks, because I was uploading every Friday for Final Fantasy 4.
Okay.
And that way I had like say 2 or 3 ahead of time, so if I didn't have the ambition or I just wasn't feeling well, then I could take that week off, and then I would still have like another week or 2 where I could film the next episode.
That makes sense.
And not really have to panic myself and be like, oh no, it's Thursday and I have to do this.
Yeah.
tomorrow.
You wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, oh my goodness, what time is it? Oh, gotta make the video.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's cool. I guess it would be hard for someone to make it to 500 videos without already, by 500 videos, having made some kind of consistent setup or structure or schedule to their way that they make videos. So I guess that kind of raises the question to the people watching who might possibly want to start making videos, more regularly in their lives. What would you want to say to them if they're thinking of wanting to make more videos more of the time?
Okay, putting aside the technical aspects of it, the most important thing for you is to have something that you're passionate about. Like, find your niche would be the first thing I would tell you to do.
Okay.
Even if you just like filming your cat, like you have a cat and you enjoy filming it,
Yeah.
then do like a weekly video where you're doing whatever you can kind of explore a different angle, do like a sort of joke bit where like you're filming him for a minute, but you're giving him a voice. Like OTRS Central, where Shug Daddy does weekly, whenever he does them, but he does wrestling videos.
Okay.
He had this cat, Smokey, who left Mark Henry matches. So, and he was this like gray big cat. So he would put on this voice and call him Smokey the cat, big gray and sexy, talking about Mark motherfucking Henry. Now where's my cheeseburger? Yeah. Oh, it was phenomenal because like obviously I'm trying to remember things about that, but yeah, just, like you had that exaggerated voice.
Totally.
And he loves cheeseburgers and is a fan of Mark Henry and hates John Cena. Talking about what's the best yeah, Mark Henry did the job because he knows that Sheamus has to go over.
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, it's like
awesome.
something like that where you give like a sort of like that personality.
Yeah, totally.
To the cat. So yeah, just find your niche. Because if you're just if it's not something that you're passionate about, then you're not going to be motivated to do it.
True.
Yeah, so that would be the thing that I would say. As long as you have that thing that motivates you to do videos, then it's going to be a lot easier to create that content.
Nice. Yeah. That's good advice, good insight, good feedback.
Yeah, aside from that, just like learn the basics.
Okay.
Because in all honesty, it was actually maybe this past, I guess, year and a bit that I've actually been bothering to actually explore the basics. Rather than before, I would just like take my camera with me and pointing it everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
And now I have all this extra equipment like microphones and lights.
Totally. Yeah.
And depending on the situation, I'll have about 2 or 3 different cameras.
Nice. I don't know when you wanted to wrap this up. I don't mind going longer, but a question I kind of had. It's coming to my mind. It's kind of hope I can ask it before I forget it. Nope. Forgot what I was going to ask. Actually, yeah, no, here it is. Out of all the series, or out of all the different series of videos that you make, that you currently make, which one do you find is the most difficult in terms of setting up the equipment or setting up the lighting or how on a technical aspect? And do you have one that you do you enjoy that, or do you enjoy making videos that are less technically involved, less setup involved?
Well, in actuality, the funny thing is that the cooking videos with David are actually the most involved setup.
Okay.
Because I actually have one of those I guess for lack of a better word, big lights.
Nice.
I actually ordered that maybe about $50-60 last year.
Cool.
So I have to set that up, and then of course I set up with the wide camera, which is the camera that I'm using right now. And then I have my DSLR, which I use the close-ups and zoom in. So yeah, I set up the lights and all that. Maybe takes about, depending on the situation, maybe about 20-30 minutes to get everything arranged the way that I want it to.
Yeah. Nice.
And then of course I have to make sure that the sound is working properly.
True.
Because before, I was just using the microphone in the camera.
Yeah.
Which in the best situations is passive.
Right.
If you're just sitting at when we did the 300s, Papa John, that would be the ideal situation where there's just there's no wind blowing,
That's right.
no one passing by and interrupting or anything. Whereas this, we're outside, there's the wind, and of course,
that's right.
You don't see a lot of it, but there are people passing by, so of course they chatter, and that gets picked up by the microphone.
That's
and all
right.
that,
Yes.
so that we get. Whereas this microphone is going to pick up it'll still pick up a bit of it, but it's going to be more focused on our voices because that's where the microphone is pointed.
Yes.
Whereas the camera microphone that's built into it, that's more
a wider.
Yeah, it's more omnidirectional.
Right. That makes sense. Cool. That's good. So I guess sorry, every once in a while I come up with these questions, but karaoke catastrophe. I know, like, I have gone with you in the past, before the pandemic, to that Shooter's Pub. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shooter's Tap House.
Shooter's Tap House, and that was a lot of fun. And we went one place else as well one time.
Edith North.
Yes, yeah, and those were both really just a lot of fun. So, do you have a certain like segment or like section or like
Series?
a certain series that you miss being able to film, like because of the current world?
Yeah.
Setting?
The world, the current situation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Actually, you just mentioned one of the
Okay.
karaoke catastrophe, which
Yeah.
like for me, karaoke is fun, and I think you were helping me with mostly season 3.
Right. Yeah.
Which for me, it's like I consider that to be both my best and worst seasons.
Okay.
Like worst in terms of like some of the song choices.
Right.
Because like that's like the one season where I went out of my way to do like Taylor Swift. Got a
Okay.
couple Taylor Swift songs on there, a couple
Yeah.
Katy Perry songs, a couple Britney Spears songs on there. So like I purposely made some bad choices. Because when you do a song you like at karaoke,
Yeah.
you kind of want to show it a certain amount of respect.
True. True.
But when it's a person that you don't particularly care for, like you don't necessarily hate them, but you don't,
Yeah.
but you don't go away for the music, so you
Right.
might, so you kind of give yourself a leeway to kind of like poke fun at that song,
Yeah.
and it gives you that sort of creative freedom that you can
Yes.
perform.
Totally.
So, and then there are some songs that you do enjoy, but you still kind of, but like with I Touch Myself by the Vinyls, I do that in like it was a Pope or Bishop album or whatever.
Classic.
That is one of my. There was one time I did that song, and everyone was like clapping along and
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
enjoying it, and I wish I got that
Oh,
one
man,
on
that'd
film
be
because
good.
that would have been such. Because a lot of you who have subscribed to my channel are wrestling fans. I'm not sure if you're watching this. I doubt it, but if you are, but like you look at the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, and that has like this phenomenal atmosphere where people are chanting the referee's name, they're chanting the
Nice.
announcer's name, that they gives you this really fun vibe.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And like that song, had I gotten that performance on film, then it would have given you, it would have translated. I feel like it would have translated well on the
Yeah.
camera because you would have had all these people
Right. Yeah.
enjoying the
Clapping and cheering
performance.
and smiling and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So,
makes sense.
but I think it was like a quiet night for the ones that I did film.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, it's but yeah, like you get some songs you can take creative liberties with when you're performing because like you don't hate the person, but you don't
That's
necessarily enjoy their style. Whereas me, like like I said earlier, I'm a big Bee Gees fan, so I'm going to want to approach Bee Gees with a certain amount of respect.
That makes sense. Because no, that totally makes sense.
Whereas like a Britney Spears, who I don't necessarily care for as much.
Yeah, somewhat indifferent to.
Yeah, because
So
like I was in high school when she started to become famous.
Right.
So you know how it is when you're in high school and everyone and the thing's big and it's sort of this,
and everyone is singing the same song or song, isn't
and like everyone's talking about it.
it? Yeah. Yeah.
So like, and then you hear it's like, well, what's the big deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, like you don't get, like you just don't get it. So
Yeah.
that's what like Britney and Christina and the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC are to me. But
Yeah.
even with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, it's like being a Bee Gees fan. I at least understand like a certain appreciation for things like harmonies.
Right.
So like I kind of get like I'll get Backstreet Boys and NSYNC a little bit more than I would like the solo acts like Christina
Yeah.
Aguilera and Britney Spears.
Right.
But yeah, like don't get me wrong, there are like still people that I do enjoy. Like obviously, I'm going to have a certain appreciation for Donna Summer and Gloria Gaynor, for example.
Right.
And even though their style might not be my first pick, you look at a Celine Dion or a Barbra Streisand, who the Bee Gees have actually written for,
Yeah.
which is how they come to my attention.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. They wrote for them.
Yeah, the Bee
Oh,
Gees
cool.
wrote "Guilty" for her,
Oh, wow.
which was actually a Barry and Barbra duet, and "Immortality" from '97 for Celine Dion.
Oh, the more you know.
Yeah, so anyway, like it's difficult to argue with the talent of a Celine Dion or Barbra Streisand, even if they're not your favorite style. You know,
Right,
like
right.
their talent is fairly. It's there, yeah.
It's there, yeah.
No, you don't have to enjoy the style,
Yeah.
Because everyone has their own style, but
That's right.
still, it's like, you know what? I get it.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. I totally get that.
But like even with Christina, like okay, again, not being necessarily a fan of her style, it's like,
Yeah.
but I've heard enough of her voice, like okay, yeah, there is a noticeable level of talent with Christina.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
And so yeah, I definitely miss that doing the karaoke videos because
Yeah.
actually I was part way through through my next through season 6.
Oh,
I
okay.
have parts of season 6
Oh, I
ready,
see.
but I want to get it complete because there is
Yes.
a theme to it.
Oh, I see. So you want to complete that theme to it
Yeah.
without...
And
who
it
knows
does
when
have to
that'll
go in a particular order too.
Okay.
Because I've actually picked a group because obviously like there are some groups where they have a massive catalog, but
Yeah.
like the ABBAs and the Elvis Presleys and
Okay.
the Bee Gees, where they
Yeah.
have like these massive catalogs where I could feasibly devote entire seasons to
Oh, wow. It's like...
to different groups if I wanted
Oh,
to.
cool, cool.
So, but I want to do like the songs in conjunction with the way that the originals were released.
Okay.
So, let's say that I did an ABBA season,
Right.
and if I think Dancing Queen was released around maybe 77ish, 1977.
Okay.
So if a song is before 1977 for ABBA, I'm going to want to put that before Dancing Queen.
Oh, gotcha.
And if an ABBA song is released in like 1979,
Yeah.
it's going to come afterwards, right?
Okay, so you're doing it from earliest to latest.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. That's cool. That's a good way to do it. Easier. Yeah, no, that's a cool way to do that. That makes sense. Nice.
So karaoke catastrophe I missed. I'm still doing the cooking videos, so I can't say that I missed that because
Right.
I'm still doing them. Although I would like to get back to doing more of like the Burnaby Village Museum type videos, because I actually do enjoy doing them.
Yeah, and your Burnaby Village Museum video, I don't know if you've done several, but just the one that I know of that I think is the most recent one that you've done, which is probably just kind of at the beginning of the pandemic or before the pandemic.
It was September.
Oh, September 2019.
20.
Oh, 2022. Or 20.
2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I got in like the last day actually.
Oh, nice.
Before they closed
Oh,
the
right
summer
on.
season.
Okay.
But yeah, when I say that, like that series, I mean like Burnaby Village Museum,
Yeah.
Capilano Suspension Bridge,
Yeah.
and that sort of Britannia Mine Museums, like
Yes.
the ones where I'm exploring like the various local things, like
Yeah,
that.
totally.
So like I would like to get back to doing more of those when those things like that reopen. If I can, I would love to go to the there's a railway museum I think in Squamish.
Oh, I haven't heard of that. I don't know anything that happens in Squamish, so I don't
Oh, no, actually, I got like, you know how we have you remember back before we got the compass cards, right?
Yes.
For transit, and like,
Oh, yeah.
you could go and you go buy like a book of 10 tickets.
Yes, yes I do.
Well, there's a connector to Squamish, like from Vancouver to Squamish,
Okay.
where you can buy like 10 tickets, and like one ticket takes you one way.
Oh, okay.
So, and like a round trip is $35 for them if you just wanted to buy the one round trip, like say from Vancouver to Squamish and back.
Right.
That's $35. Or if you wanted to go one way, it'd be like $24.
Right.
Just like say just Vancouver to Squamish.
Right.
But if you buy like their 10 pack, then you can. It's like about $12 each way.
Oh, nice.
So it's like $24 for a round trip
Oh, that's great.
instead of
35. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
So I got that, and I actually used two of them for the Britannia Mine Museum.
Okay.
But of course now I have to wait for the railroad museum, the train museum to come back,
Right.
and I can maybe use them again.
Yeah.
Use that one again and try to go up again.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
try to
good.
make a couple Squamish videos.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be good. Yeah, those right. The Burnaby Village Museum was a lot of fun that you made. I think that was the first video of yours that I saw where you were like really not branching out, but kind of like testing like new aspects. Like you kind of had some black and white shots there with the music going, and then you kind of had different things musically going on, or just like film wise. So I think that was around the time that you had started doing that online course, or
Actually, I was starting the courses back in January.
Okay.
January of last year.
Oh, snap,
It's
okay.
just that I really didn't have much chance to practice it.
Got you.
Because at that point, like when I was going to the wrestling shows, I was still kind of doubling down on what I was doing because I was filming, and at the same time, I had my first DSLR,
Okay.
where the screen broke, and I ended up getting rid of it. Which is why I upgraded to the SL3,
Nice.
which is still like a budget one, but it does allow for a microphone plug-in, and it
Nice.
does technically have 4K.
Oh, cool. Wow.
I think, although I think it's only 24 frames per second.
Okay.
So, if and when I do go into 4K, I'll kind of wait for them to at least have access to 30 frames per second for the 4K.
That
before
makes
I
sense.
worry about doing that.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, it's like I actually, because Burnaby Village Museum is like a 20s, like made to be like a 20s Burnaby Village.
Right. Yes.
So that's kind of what inspired me to say, hey, I'll do this black and white, and I'll just
Oh, nice.
walk around and
Nice.
take some clips,
Yeah. Cool.
and then do black and white and incorporate the music.
Nice.
And that's actually the first one where I started to, aside from the intro scene, that's actually the first video that I actually created a track for the video itself.
Right on. Cool. Was that an easy process for you, or did you find that like tedious at all, or was it?
Just it was trial and error when
Okay.
I was creating the track for it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, kind of like I had the visual aspect already in my head,
Okay.
but it was just a matter of creating the bits, like the music for it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, and there's actually little bits in there but one thing that I actually kind of do take that I seem to remember learning from one of the classes that I actually snuck in there was I'm looking at the code book that the blacksmith gave me.
Yeah.
And then you hear the church bell, and then you go like right to the church that's
Oh,
there. Like
yeah.
you see the cross, and then
Yes.
I
Yeah.
go
Like
down.
yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, so like literally like maybe about a half second before
Yes.
you get to the cross that's at the top of the church,
Right.
I actually put that church bell like half a second, like that last half second of the code
Yeah.
book,
Yeah.
to have like as a sort of cue to
Yeah, it's-
visually bring it
That's cool.
the
Yeah.
church.
I did know. I do remember that particular scene or segment, or yeah, that was
Yeah,
that
'cause
was
it-
more memorable than.
Yeah, because like talked about using sound to introduce like the next piece.
Right. Right.
So of course, since
Nice.
I was looking at the church there, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
see if I can get like a church-related sound.
Cool. Cool.
And like, okay, church bell.
Because I don't think that the church at the Burnaby Village Museum actually has a bell, but you can't tell that when you watch the video. You just think, oh, there's a church bell, oh, church, oh, that makes sense, and it kind of like draws the audience in more.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to mention? It's rain is kind of setting in a little more here.
Yeah, actually, I was
so-
about to say that. So
Yeah.
I was say, you think we should wrap up? It's starting to.
Yes.
The rain's becoming a little more prominent.
Yeah,
now.
the sky is definitely falling for now. Yeah, I guess so. That will be. Do you have a number for what video this will be?
This would be 498.
498. Cool. 2 away from the big 5-0.
Yep.
Oh.
Almost there.
Almost there.
Almost there.
That's awesome. I am greatly appreciative. Thank you for having me on your channel. I like that I was part of the episode 300. That was a lot of fun to make, and I'm glad that you invited me to be back here on your road to 500. That means a lot to me, and I'm glad that we could make these videos, and hopefully we can, Lord willing, make more videos in the future.
Yeah, but I appreciate you taking the time out of your life to help me with this.
Thank you.
Because obviously I enjoy doing these things, and I want to make. I want to try to be able to bring in as many friends as I can for
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I always appreciate when people take time out of their lives to help me with something that's important to me, and it's a sign of a good friend.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. You're done, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, so garbage.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
So I guess that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I'm the two-time Naboxed Award-winning Naboxed,
I'm the one-time Naboxed Award-winning Paul.
and we're getting out of here because it's raining.
Yeah. See ya.